Welcome to another episode of Dockit.pk Fireside. We're here today at the Pakistan Tech Festival and very happy to be here from the Dockit.pk Lounge. We're joined today with the CEO of Swyft Logistics, Uns. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Saad. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I can see it's vibrant, it's happening. I was glad to be here at Dockit.pk Lounge.
Actually, I think it's a welcome change from all the COVID restrictions and SOPs. So, like, lots of energy, lots of buzz. So, how are you looking at the tech ecosystem right now? Like, lots happening apparently.
The first thing is that we're not wearing masks. That's the best thing. And in terms of tech space, you can see a lot of money coming in. There are a lot of VCs who can write big checks. I see them entering this market that actually opens up a new market for people who are starting from scratch. And now we know and we understand that $2 million से ज़्यादा पैसे raise कर सकते हैं पाकिस्तान में.
But like, you've been a part of the whole startup scene for a very long time, since before all of this buzz and like all of the hype around Pakistan at the moment. So like, walk us through the journey so far. Like, this is apparently your third startup that
Yep.
you're running. So like, tell us about the first two. What happened? What were they?
Yeah, so we started, the first thing I started was right after college. And that was like a BPO call center, customer support center for a lot of companies in UK, a lot of companies in New Zealand, in US, in Australia. Went really well for 3 years, and one fine day I got to know that there were like 40 people frauding the credit cards of different people. And I got an email from somewhere that we owe the UK government a lot of money. And I thought it's a spam because it was actually in my spam. And then 3 months down there, I got to know that no, that was actually happening. So we failed that badly, but we started off with 10 guys. When I shut that down, it was about 190 people. And but then I realized that बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो maybe I don't know. There are a lot of processes we didn't follow. I said, let's go for an MBA then. So that's how I went for my MBA. And while I was doing my MBA, I thought let's do something else because, well, you know, there is this thing that when I started something out of college, I can't sit idle and I can't just study. And it was like evening, weekend, I had nothing else to do. So I started something. It was like a discount card. It was called Dockit. It had an app that can actually help you swift through the brands. We had pharmacies, hospitals, food, apparel, footwear. And then one fine day we were picked up by Google that, they picked up 10 startups from Pakistan. And when I went there, I realized, oh, this is a consumer intelligence company. It's not a discount card. And so then that's how we pivoted from the discount thing to a consumer intelligence side and more data analytics. So we used to know the buying patterns, we used to know spending patterns, we used to know who's buying what, when is he buying, how much he spent, what are his patterns. So from there we raised a little bit of money because so I went to Google. I realized ये VC funding के नाम की कोई चीज होती है. So but it was not VC. We raised from local investors in Pakistan. About $1.5 million. But back in time, 2015, 16, $1.5 million was a good amount of money.
Yeah, that was. I'm sure, like, not very common at the time.
Not very common in the time.
Yeah.
So we did that. It went really well. We had around 1 million subscribers. And one fine day, one of the investors said that, you know what, the discount thing is not going to work. We build a good loyalty program as well. Can we buy you out? I was like, sure. You want to buy me out? Sure. So that's how I kind of sold that. Then I came back. Then I went to Cheetah for like good 1.5 year. And I was working. I realized मैं job नहीं कर सकता because मैंने की नहीं थी इतना अर्सा. And because they used to deliver food, and then there were a lot of errand orders, which was मेरा laptop रह गया है घर से ला दो. So they were working as runners as well. Now, because I was working with fashion industry in my Dockit time, I went back to these guys and I said, if we can't deliver food, why can't we deliver apparel, footwear? So I started this at Cheetah. So Cheetah was more or less an incubation center for Swyft. And one fine day I resigned you know what, I've got a different business model. I want to work on it. And Ahmed and Majid, like both of them, they said, you know what, why not we do it together? Why do you want to go out and do it alone? That's how we created Swyft, and we realized it's a very different business model. You can't deliver burgers and kapde in one delivery box, and food delivery is quick commerce. E-commerce was 1% penetrated. अभी छोटा था e-commerce. COVID helped a lot, but we realized this is a very different business model. Riders ka, uh, warehousing chahiye. You are sorting it, you are batching it. Food is point to point. You went out, picked it up from a restaurant, delivered it right away. Kapda mein, you don't need it because the customer doesn't want it probably in 30 minutes. He's okay if he gets it 2 days after it. So that's how we got to Swyft.
So when this offer came through on Dockit, what was the first response like? Hey, investor ne aake kaha ki like, whatever, I'll buy you out and everything. I find that a lot of founders like find it very hard to pivot their business model, or to part with the company, or even think about parting with the company, because they have a vision, they started something, it's their creative brainchild, and they're like very emotionally attached to the whole thing as well. Like, is that how you process entrepreneurship as well, or is that
Yeah, that's how I processed when they said the first time.
Sure.
Then they wrote a check. And I was like, I've never seen this much amount of money. Fine. There's millions of dollars. Why not?
Sure.
Let's get out of it.
Makes a lot
And
of sense.
then I personally thought that either we should go towards a B2B side in loyalty, where we should build loyalty programs for different brands, or we should involve fintech in this. Let's say, for example, Lum students were carrying a card that was powered by Dockit. And if it is powered by Dockit, why can't it be powered by Visa or MasterCard? But that needed a lot of money. So my mindset was that Lum's student card should be a discount card, should be a debit or credit card. And this was my vision for next 5 years. But we had a few conflicts. Then we realized we need a lot of money for that. Licensing was, State Bank has different regulation differently. And nobody knew about that, oh, one fine day, a young guy is going to come and ask State Bank that I want a license for my own cards. Yeah. They were like, we've never heard of it. Ab to bahut aasan hai. Everybody knows EMI licenses, PSP licenses. It's very easy. And then we needed $2.5 million just for the security to park at State Bank. And we started from scratch with $1.5 million. और $2 million आप सिर्फ बैंक में रख दें तो वो investors भी ready नहीं थे. Then we didn't know what kind of reaction we're going to get. So I think, why not? You want to buy me out, buy me out.
It makes a lot of sense. And like, so you've seen the whole entrepreneurship cycle, like all the way to the very end. And like, then you brought that and your MBA experience when you started off Swyft as well. So Swyft started back in 2019.
November, December 2019.
And then COVID happened. So
yes.
So walk us through that. Like, how did you process it? Did you feel like, hey, yaar, ye to fit, this is a good opportunity for us and we'll just take it and grow? Or was there like some uncertainty? How did you guys process it at the time?
So we officially started on Jan 2020. We were 7-8 guys, 10-15 riders. हम कहते थे फूल भी आ जाए तो deliver कर देंगे, whatever, like. And we were just in one city. And we had great USPs because, as I said, at Cheetah, I treated Cheetah as an incubation center for a while because I was learning delivery processes and all of that. I realized, it's what are the pain points of the industry? It's a cash on delivery sensitive market, very intensive. People used to get cash after 15 days, 40 days, 50 days, even 60 days. Or that's okay for bigger brands, but that's not okay for mom and pop stores because that's their working capital. That was one problem. Then I went back to all these fashion houses, all these fashion brands that tell me your problems. So I realized that all these conventional courier companies, because people don't have an option to switch, they think this is right. कि अगर पैसे 50 दिन बाद मिलते हैं, this is fine, 50 दिन बाद ही मिलेंगे. अगर tracking, if there is no tracking available, or the tracking is just that the parcel has left the warehouse, and you don't know because the rider is carrying a pen and a paper, so till the time that package number is on a paper, that means not in the system. That means you can't track it. So it was not trackable. There was no transparency. Nothing was transparent.
वो bounce rates बड़े normal थे और वो होता था कि like अगर कोई 45 days पे norm बना हुआ है तो अगर आपको 30 days में भी payment दे दो आप कहते थे यार वाह.
Yeah, wow.
Like this service is unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah. So we did a lot of it. We built a whole tech stack before building logistics. We said we'll give you cash back because we don't want to make money on your money by putting it in the bank. We'll just give you cash back right away. And how can we give cash back right away? Because it was all common sense. कोई इतना rocket science tech नहीं था. Okay, give the rider an app, because that's what I also learned at Cheetah, that the rider use app. Give him an app, geofence him with the locations. Now he can't lie because that was another problem. Okay, rider gaya hai and rider came back, but the parcel was never delivered. That means the rider never went there. And now he's delivered, let's say, 20 parcels, but 5 parcels came back because the rider never called him. The rider never went there. We said, let's just geofence this pin location, and the rider can't mark delivered or cancel till the time he's not there, or at least in 50 or 100 meters. अब rider बेवकूफ़ होगा अगर वो 100 meters में गया और deliver नहीं किया. So we did that. Then second thing was that we used to say we'll give you cash right away. And we used to get the cash right away in our system, because the moment it's delivered at, let's say, 2:37 p.m., the customer, which is the vendor who's our customer, he gets to know it at 2:37 p.m. live runtime. So हम सबके पास गए. People were like, either this is too good to be true, or we don't know who you are. We've been working with all those purane naam, and we don't want to switch. Then COVID came in, and COVID, I guess the first lockdown was 23rd of March. अब सब लोग work from home पे थे. हम थे ही 6 लोग. So we were like, we can sit apart in office. तो work from home करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So that was one good thing. Second thing happened, it was followed by Ramzan and Eid, जो कि already it's a peak season. Everybody was choked, and because of COVID, it was like 20x. So I thought, इनको try कर लेते हैं. Let's try them out. That try, since then our retention, the vendors we signed up back in March, it's been 98%. So all those top clients we signed, they've started working with us in March during COVID, never went back.
And I
Never
remember
went
कि
back.
like उस वक्त around that time, like May, June में, pretty much any brand, big brand, small brand that I was talking to, everyone was kind of, talking about you guys. That is the logistics operator to be in. But उस वक्त की जो the logistics market at that point in time, the companies that were around, the startups that were around, and to now, do you feel like the space is also getting crowded, or operators आ रहे हैं? Or do you feel like उस वक्त भी it was crowded enough as it was?
Yeah, उस वक्त it was, I guess, apart from the conventional companies, it was only us. Now it's competitive. It's crowded. Now there are a lot of startups coming in as well with VC funding. Now people are more focused on growth instead of unit economics. Now it's everybody doing logistics, because it's not that difficult to do. And but छोटे बहुत सारे लोग, they have like 20-30 riders. They want to do logistics within the city. Now we've recently launched Karachi, and I just got to know that from A to Z, every alphabet, there's a company named after it. So there are like hundreds of companies working in Karachi, but they're only working in Karachi. So वो छोटे silos में काम कर रहे हैं, but then there are a lot of it. All of this will just take us down in price war, which we are. And I don't know where will it go, but it's going towards a good price war.
Do you revisit your strategy? Do you just stay the course? Do you focus on your key USPs? Do you, compete on pricing, or do you just like keep going, keep doing the playbook?
Yeah, price war will always push you, which it has pushed us as well. Because when we started, we pushed everybody else. Now there are a lot of people coming in who are pushing us. So it's going to hurt, which is hurting everybody, not only us. But then, and I take pride saying it, that when we started giving money back to people, after 2 years, now people are giving upfront payments. So we've taken this from 60 days down to 1 week. Even the conventional companies, now they give payments back in 1 week, because there's no survival. If you're not giving money back, they'll just switch. And now it's so easy to switch, because if you've integrated with all of them, you just need to click a drop-down menu and select Swyft or select somebody else, and the order goes to their system. And there's no rocket science in how to integrate, because everybody now knows how to integrate. But we at Swyft we've integrated with ERPs, we've integrated with their financial systems, because abhi bhi, the finance guy sitting at the brand side, is very difficult to reconcile. Even if you pay them, the earlier the cash gets back to them, it's difficult reconciliation, because now you're doing it daily. पहले आप weekly reconciliation कर रहे थे. तो ये लगता बहुत fascinating है that oh we'll give you upfront payment, we'll give you cash back next day, but look at the work that finance guy is doing at the other side. He is now reconciling every day with you, every day with his own finances, every day with his own bank, with our bank. So it's difficult for him to manage as well. But what we've done is we've integrated with their systems in a way that you don't have to reconcile. We'll do it for you. So now we're working on such USPs which are more enterprise solution level, because वो USPs तो आपने बना लिया जो आपने बनानी थी. And retention is great with us. If you ask me, the majority of the volume lies in top 100 brands, and then everything else follows. वो volume in terms of numbers कम है, लेकिन in terms of number of brands बहुत ज़्यादा है. So it may go up to 20 or 30,000 e-commerce players or e-commerce brands and mom and pop stores working and delivering products. But if you talk about the real volumes, it maybe lies between maybe among top 30 or top 40, top 50 at max. So our top 50 are going to work with everybody because nobody can match or pace up with the volumes, especially in spikes like Eid, Valentine's, probably Black Friday, or New Year, 23rd March, and 273 days out of 365 days, these brands are on sale. So you can imagine the spikes are like 273 days out of 365 days and comes randomly. So we're working on different solutions that can work as building blocks for logistics and enabling the infrastructure instead of focusing, because now we built the USPs already.
What's the future like? What's next for Swyft Logistics?
Good question. Yeah, so
Anything you can disclose?
Yes. We're getting into fulfillment because we've realized that, okay, fine, we'll sort this part, which is the last mile. But then there is something happening at the brand side as well, or any e-commerce player. Because now the order lands in his system, he needs to pick and pack, which takes a lot of time. And then, he's doing all of it manually or with a small ERP. फिर वो बहुत गलतियाँ करता है. So sometimes when you get a red pant instead of a blue pant, or you get a medium size instead of a small size, that's not our fault. That's the brand's fault. If you are getting your order in 10 days delivered, 90% of the time it's not our fault because he gave us the 9th day. We delivered in a day because he took a lot of time, especially in spikes. Now you're actually exhausting your own workspace, your system, your inventory, and your ERPs too, because they're not used to of all of this. And then our retail sector doesn't want to spend money on tech. Abhi tak. Probably they would. So we're figuring it out. We figured it out that why not? Let's launch fulfillment. We do the picking and packing, and we're probably going to get fully automated warehouses, Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad in next 6 months. And we pick, pack, and deliver. So we cut the lead time. We cut these mistakes down, and things that were delivered in 4 days probably will deliver in a day. So that's like the future we're trying to figure out.
We're really kind of looking forward to what Swyft Logistics has in store for us in the future. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Saad.
This was a lot of fun.
Meeting you.
And thank you all for joining us. And we'll be back once again with some very interesting conversations with some really brilliant founders. So stay tuned. Follow us on our social media, on our YouTube, and all that. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you.